All right, so I promised I would give a quick recap over what happened up in Port Townsend today, and I said I was going to go live, but the service is just not really cooperating, so I'm not going to be able to go live. So I figured I would just do a quick little video and post it. That way, those of you guys who did not see the live stream earlier will kind of know what was going on. So last week there was a woman who was at the YMCA in Port Townsend, Washington, and she was taking a shower. She noticed that there was a man in a woman's swimsuit that was in the restroom with them. There were little girls who were in there as well, who were taking, their clothes off, using the restroom, so on. And she asked the man who was in there if he had male genitalia, to which the male responded with, it's none of your business. And she then was like, get out of here, then be gone. She then talked to an employee and told the employee to kick the guy out. The employee called her a bigot, and she was subsequently banned from the YMCA and the community pool there. And so there was a rally that went on today by about 30 people. And the funniest thing about it is they weren't right-wingers. They were not right-wingers. They were feminists. I talked to a few of them, and they were like, "No, yeah, we're leftists." Like, they were like, "You're not one of us, but thank you for being here." It was really weird. Like I said something about leftists, and they were like, "Well, that's not true," and I'm one of them, so I can tell you that. And I'm like, "No, yeah, you're a legit leftist. All right, cool, fantastic." So it was interesting talking to some of these guys, and they. And then opposing them, there's about 35. I counted 35 feminists, people who were there to support her, and there was about there was a few hundred people that came from Portland, that came from Seattle, that came from all over the place to stand up for the man who was in the women's restroom or a locker room. Looking at an 80-year-old woman showering and little girls changing their clothes and using the restroom. It's pretty nuts when you think about it, especially that just the fact that the speakers at the event were talking about feminism. They were talking about women's rights. They were talking about all these things, and all of the people with the rainbow flags were booing them the entire time. They were making noise. They were trying to break their equipment. They were trying to steal their flags. They were trying to disrupt everything. And then the police, who were there for a little bit, they left, and they let so much stuff go on until there was a blatant assault. Now, it wasn't the first blatant assault. There was many assaults that went on, and then there was many calls for help that went on the loudspeaker. From people calling 911. The cops were there, the cops were watching, the cops were across the street most of the time, and then they finally ended up coming in and they arrested one guy, and then they kind of disappeared again. They watched and they let a whole bunch of other stuff happen, and then they interceded again for a minute, and then they sat there and watched a whole bunch of other stuff happen and didn't do anything. They did not do anything to keep the two sides separated until the end, which I will say I appreciate that they created a little boundary to keep people, separated for people to leave, which all they did was give them room to go around the backside of the building where they were met again with more counter protesters. It was good though, because I was able to get an interview with her, which is at the end of the live stream. I will be doing a post edit. I'll cut it up a little bit and do kind of a highlight reel of things that happened and went on. Some of the speeches were fantastic. They really did a good job showing the hypocrisy, showing the absolute lunacy of the left. the far left, the crazy left, the insane left that is denying science by every stretch of the imagination, trying to change definitions of words and so on. It was pretty nuts. Pretty nuts also that they didn't have help. People did not show up to support an 80-year-old woman who this happened to. Like, it baffles me. It saddens me that so few people are willing to stand up and fight for common decency. That's really all it is, common decency. We're in a dark place in this country, and darkness flourishes when good men do nothing. And today, darkness flourished, and I am very glad that I was able to go today and film it, because people needed to see it. People needed to see what happened today, and they need to be awake. They need to get woke to what's going on in our country today. What is happening? The hate from the left, the anti-science from the left, the anti-reality of the left. Like, you know, the fact that they are literally the fascism of the left, that you don't get to have an opinion, that you don't get to not fall into what they believe you should fall into. The idea that if you don't go along with their imagination, if you don't agree with their imagination, if you don't agree with their schizophrenia, whatever you want to call it, then you must be silenced with violence. That's where we're at in this country, and it's a bad place. So definitely check out the live stream. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff went down. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who donated. It really means a lot, and I'm doing this stuff for free. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to do it so much lately. I haven't been able to travel, but this one here today, I felt the need to go. I felt the need to come to this, and I'm really glad I did, because yeah, there were other phones filming bits and pieces here and there, but I was able to. Nobody else has my footage. Nobody else is able to see what I was able to show everybody. So again, if you have the inclination to donate, to pay me for my services, I appreciate you. And if you already did donate, thank you very, very much. It means a lot, and hopefully I can get out there and do some more of this stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.